Okay, hello guys. Welcome back to Invasion. I know this is coming out on Saturday when normally my videos will come out the day of, which is Thursday, or Friday the next morning. It's typically Friday the next morning, but if I have more time, I'd try and get it out the night it comes out. But to be completely honest with you, I forgot that Invasion was airing an episode. It just Thursday came around and I forgot. And that's the garage, by the way. And my microphone has been really annoying lately. I have it on the max tightness. Yeah, look at this. Like it's just freaking hanging when this is on the max tightness, all of this. So to keep it up here, it's been a little harder. But as you see, we just did it. But yeah, it just kind of sucks, I guess, because like silo episodes, I was like waiting for Thursday. I was like, Thursday, I need to be there the minute it comes out. I need to see the episode. And this show, I just kind of was, it was Thursday, and I apparently forgot that an episode was coming out. But I managed to watch it and write down my notes. Let's get right into it. It starts with our crew, the soldiers, looking for Mitski, because obviously she went on her own journey last episode, which I did enjoy. And then Landon says a very poetic line. He says, "You don't know what you have until the aliens take it from you," which, yeah, it's very poetic, man. Thank you for that. And Mitski is found by Nikhil tracking the thing in her neck, and some very exaggerated, like 0 to 10, sudden just like concern for Mitski, like, "Oh my God, Mitski." I'll play the clip. Then we go to some other soldiers who say it's like a wool sweater out here. I mean, I don't know if anyone else was thinking that. Also, by the way, if you're new here, a couple things. My glasses, the blue light has been reflecting, causing the green screen to mess up. But it's not doing it today. That's actually cool. And also, I am wearing a green shirt. But it's also cold outside, so it's good that I put a hoodie over it. It ended up working out, but there might be some green flickering now that I realize that. But Travante and the soldiers are walking. Travante takes a little tumble and falls, and he sees some flashbacks to the mothership, and Travante's saying, "You can't die in this place," to Casper, and Casper getting him up and saying the aliens are in his head. And then he's like, Travante stabbing the wall, and Casper falls to the ground in pain with a new haircut, by the way. It looks similar, but his hair is different somehow in his few moments on the mothership, which I think is funny. And I just, it's again, it's so dumb they didn't show this episode 1 of the season. It's still dumb. They were just trying to make the season more interesting by delaying this. I don't know, it's annoying. But then Casper tries to kill Travante with the shard and stab him. And like I predicted, literally episode 1 of the season, Travante hurts Casper and possibly even kills him. Made that prediction episode 1. So just want to say I called that. And if you've been watching these videos, you would know that I've said it a few times at least. But so it wasn't too big, but it was kind of some vindication there. But Travante, again, not great acting of when he wakes up discombobulated and being like, "No, what did I do?" It just, nah, didn't work for me at least. And then Travante says he saw all of what happened. He says this, yet somehow he literally said this earlier in the season 2. He said this before already. "No, I seen it all. I know what happened." But now actually you've seen it all and know what happened? Like, he's making these assumptions, and he's already saying, "I killed him," which you don't know that. So he's making another assumption. Or you could say that maybe it's something more at an emotional level, like he wants to believe that he was responsible for Casper's death right away to take the blame, you know. And we get another flashback of Casper getting stabbed, and he freaking removes his shard for some reason. Like, he's chilling, yeah, maybe it hurts, he freaking removes it and there's just blood pouring everywhere. Like, don't remove things that have been put into you. But then we see that Nikhil has Mitski's star, and it just reminded me, oh, when the show was great, when that star meant something, you know. And we go to Mitski, who I think, I'm not sure, but she may have a new earring, because I don't know. I don't pay attention to like earrings and stuff, right? But I don't know if she had that last episode. It kind of just was like, does she have that? And y'all can let me know. She might have, she might not have. If she didn't, then I guess that's a mistake. But I'm guessing she didn't. I just didn't notice. But then Anisha makes this crazy revelation that Mitsuki was bleeding out and maybe got healed. Like her and Nikhil have this whole like crazy revelation conversation when that's literally what Mitsuki's saying has happened to her. And then we get the line from the trailer where Mitsuki says, all this time, all I've wanted to do is kill them, but maybe humanity's time is over. Maybe it's their turn. And yeah, sounds good to me. For a show about holding on to humanity, why am I rooting for the aliens, you know? But, I mean, it's kind of intriguing if the aliens win. It's definitely, they're going for something intriguing here. When they have, it's not clear one side's the evil bad guys. There's some, it's not black and white. There's some grays in there. And I appreciate that. Oh, wait, did my camera freeze? How long ago did my camera freeze? Well, it's overheating. Hold up. I'm back. Sorry about that. It was probably a little awkward for a little bit there. Then we go into Infinitas group again, with someone questioning like, this isn't paradise. This is toxic air. And then basically told, this is, well, just like wait, you know? And then one of the Infinitas guys does the quietest little whistle ever. And apparently it is heard from like a mile, maybe miles away. And they get a response. My only explanation is they forgot to add a sound effect to like make a louder whistle, because there's just no way that they would think that someone would hear that far. Like it's just crazy. But Jamila is just crying and crying over learning how Casper died. I don't really get this, because she learned forever ago that Casper was already dead. Like, just because you learned how Casper was dead, that makes you so sad when you already dealt with his death. And it's a little weird as well, because she was just telling Travante, don't be sad. You might not have seen the full picture. The aliens might have gotten to your head, but now she's kind of going against her own advice. A little confusing. And then I don't know. There's this whole obvious arc this season of Jamila saying she's not a kid. Like, it's definitely, they try and do the character arcs and stuff way too obvious. Like, do you see Nikhil say it? He said I 3 times in this episode. He's so selfish. Do you see that? And then they do that with Jamila. How many times she says, I'm not a kid. Like, literally, like 8 characters, like maybe every character this season called her a kid. Like, I don't know. But now she says, I am a kid. Which, I guess it's contradictory, is kind of the point. But I don't know what the point of the character building is there. Maybe showing that deep down when she's vulnerable, that she does believe she's still a kid. And she's trying to be something she's not, trying to forget this traumatic life that she had with Casper. But Clark motivates her by saying Casper was a hero, and she's like, okay, I'm not too sad anymore. And then Infinitas groups, the 2 groups reunite. It's very sweet. And Infinitas herself asks, where's Carmichael? We talked about Carmichael last episode, but she says, basically realized that Carmichael's dead, and says, poor Monica, he'll be waiting with all the others with her. And Monica, if you don't remember, is Carmichael's daughter. And I'm confused about their whole philosophy, to be honest. If they're trying to see their loved ones so badly, and at the same time believe that when their loved ones die, that they are with the other loved ones in this Eden or whatever, then why are they just not like CSing and finding Eden that way? If they believe all their dead loved ones are where they're trying to get, why are they going through all this hardship to try and get there if they think that their dead loved ones go there? Like, why? I mean, they're crazy enough. Why not just group CS? YouTube's keep me monetized, please. But I don't know. They think their dead loved ones are waiting there anyways, which is just confusing to me. Why they think they need to go there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if the writers thought too much about that. But now it's Anisha's turn to have a talk with Trevante for like 5 minutes. Super boring. And then Jamila has to talk to Trevante too. Not even kidding. 5 more minutes. 10 minutes of just talking through like, oh, you did what you could. Casper was long gone before. Like 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Like, come on now. This is like possibly the series penultimate if they don't get a season 4. It's just, I don't know. But they asked Trevante to summon his memories, which he apparently can do now when the whole season he wasn't able to do. And we see the same exact stuff we've been seeing with, oh, there's an alien on the wall. Oh, I get sent back. Same exact thing. But then we go to new stuff, thank goodness, which was actually some of the most impressive camera work, I think, in direction of the episode. It looked cool and kind of shocking. Was where Casper did one final like stab at the wall, goes flying, marks up the entire like walls beside him with the black shard, and some crazy like colors start coming out of the floor, and it looks great. But then Trevante again makes like more assumptions from his memories or that aren't quite explained, where he says the aliens couldn't see me in that new black hallway. How do you know that from seeing the flashback? There was a few times where he just knew stuff that we didn't like know if we're seeing exactly what he's saying, but I don't care about that too much, I guess. But I mean, this got me thinking of a greater issue, I guess. Like, we probably have one episode left in this series, and they haven't told us why this random shard that Luke found in season 1 does something, which they set up that to be an interesting mystery. They haven't told us why the aliens are here, and while they're saving people whilst also killing people. And of course Wajo, which hasn't been mentioned at all this season. No Wajoing. So I don't know what they're going to do with this last episode. But they end up finding the bomb that Mitsuki left, which was kind of a mystery. I don't exactly know why they had this little subplot of we need to find the bomb to just find it so easily. It was just kind of seemed like filler to fill up time. But yeah, I started getting really frustrated at this point in the episode. I was like, this whole season is one big just walk through the woods to get to the mothership that for some reason just crashed after the end of last season. Like, instead of going right to what happened at the end of season 2, where they were getting to the mothership to complete their mission, it just crashes. We skip 2 years, and guess what? It takes us 10 more episodes to get back where we were at the end of last season, to see what happened with Casper, to go to the mothership. Like, I'm so pissed off. There's a bunch of filler and blah 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 and this new Infinitas group to literally get back to where we ended last season's finale. Like, it's very annoying. Like, imagine they do that again. Like, if they're trying to set up a season 4, they better not set up a season 4. They gotta realize this show is not insanely popular enough to just go for a season 4. It's just not. Then we go back to Infinitas with the same guy, whose name is Thomas, by the way, they say, who says, I don't see paradise here, and he gets shot by the crazy guy from last episode. But somehow this bullet, I mean, he does this in the middle of a crowd of people with no fear of this bullet going through Thomas at point blank, I guess. And then our soldiers of our group hear the gunshot, and go scouting after them. And here I definitely realized I want Infinitas group to lose, but I also want the aliens to win, because Infinitas group's so annoying. They're not even interesting, they're just annoying. But if the aliens win, Infinitas kind of wins their goal, but I hope Infinitas like loses. Like, what's gonna happen is this typical trope of the cult faith being their undoing, and they all die like, oh no, what? This is not supposed to happen. And they all die in like 5 seconds to an explosion or something. That's my prediction. Let's see if that happens next episode, probably. But I appreciate Anisha this episode kind of being the mother to Mitsuki this episode, because I mean Anisha's kind of useless otherwise. And then they do more talking, Clark and Anisha, about a letter, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, at least build the tension for a series finale, please. And then the most crazy moment of the episode, maybe, is they mention Maya. We get a Maya mention. Like, holy freak. They've been ignoring that Maya existed the whole season. But then they finally, Nikhil says her name, but they still aren't acknowledging why they haven't even, like, went to go find her anything or anything about her. Just forgotten about her. But at least they mentioned her name. 9 episodes we get a mention. Which, again, I think is part of the reason this season falls flat without characters like Maya and Rose. Because the whole thing is supposed to be like, we are humans, and the reason we do this is because of our connections to people, and we fight for more than ourselves. And yet, because of a bunch of reasons, they had to get rid of the people that they cared about and were fighting for. So then they turned the plot into, we're just a bunch of people who don't have anyone, and we're willing to sacrifice ourselves. Except for Clark and Anisha, but... talk about that later. And then Nikhil says a line, if you can love that deeply, you're more human than anyone here, more than I'll ever be. Like, yes, these are the themes I want, the relationships I want, the conflicts I want. That's probably my favorite line of the episode, but I also liked the line about Mitsuki kind of realizing the aliens might deserve a chance. But imagine Invasion does something bold where the aliens just come out on top, kill everyone except Mitsuki, and we just get alien domination, and like we fast forward 20 years and like they've built like this new civilization and are like letting life grow with trees and stuff and taking over where buildings used to be. Like, that'd be a crazy way to end the series. It'd be way too bold for Invasion, but imagine if they did that. That'd be crazy. And then Infinitas group apparently found the tents they're staying at, and Infinitas herself starts laughing like, ha ha ha. Like, okay. And I was thinking here, please tell me that Clark sacrifices himself like I predicted last season, because that would be crazy. I was just getting the vibe that he was going to die, and I was like, please make it a sacrifice like I wanted last season. But Infinitas is finally showing up and adding some conflict at the tent. There's some talking with a radio in the tent, but it is Nikhil and Jamila fake talking. They baited them into the tent, but the sad part is they used one of their soldiers as bait. But then by then, like, you hear a radio, right? Like, you obviously know it's a trap, but then they all uncover this suspicious looking thing underneath the tarp, and I don't know why they do that, but it's obviously a bomb. Blows them up, and the soldier that got captured and used as bait does a ballerina twirl, stabs the 2 people holding him, and gets out, I guess. And just everyone is so effing stupid in the show is what I was thinking right now. Infinitas just, I don't know, the extras that were just lifting the tarp, like, oh my god, it's a trap. Like, everyone's so dumb in this show, but we press on. Anisha barely gets saved by Landon, by somebody that was gonna knife her in the back. And we go to these 2 soldiers. One says, cover me, runs out. The guy says, like, got you, run. But he immediately gets headshotted, so he did not cover him. That'd be a horrible way to die, huh? You're like, cover me, you trust, and then you die like a few seconds later. Be pretty upsetting. I'd be pretty mad at that person. I'm just stating obvious stuff now. But Landon decides to pull out the hostage, Langston, and I liked this. This is probably one of my favorite moments of the episode, where they actually give an interesting dilemma, where Infinitas has to choose between her faith or her love for this boy that she loves like a son. And this is the good stuff here. Like, that's a hard choice. She's so devoted to her faith, but this is her son we're talking about, or pretty much her son that we're talking about. And what's she gonna do, you wonder? And the moment got a little ruined by the fact that Landon kept telling Langston, shut the F up, I told you to shut the F up. But you ungagged him, So I don't know why you're mad that he's like yelling things at Infinitas. But Infinitas shoots her own nephew, and now the bullet goes through the body and hits Landon through him, which is crazy. And Anisha's running to go save him, gets shot, and Clark decides to go into protector mode. And this is where I was scared Clark was gonna die, to like protect Anisha. But then we go back to Anisha and Landon, who starts speaking Farsi for some reason again. Again, it's a little weird. It just, I feel like the director or the writer, someone just was like, oh, we got 2 actors that both are fluent in Farsi. Let's just have them speak it for some reason whenever they want to. And then they go back to English back and forth. It's a little weird. It seems unnecessary. But Landon dies. And it was shocking. It was bold. And I was actually sad. I liked him. So, and the fact that he's got a son back home makes it a little worse. But no, it was an actual sad moment for me, for sure. But then we can go to Clark, who's 1v1ing the crazy guy in the Infinitas group melee battle and defeats him, which was very cool. It was a cool 1v1. But like immediately he's like, Anisha goes after her. And she's like, no, I'm not shot. The armor protected me. Which, I mean, I kind of feel like it would have protected Landon, because he kind of got shot in like the chest area where the armor was. Maybe the bullet went through that too, even though they like to decide when and not bullets go through things. And then Infinitas group decides to retreat for some reason when they only have 2 enemies like pinned behind a rock. And 1 soldier in the woods that's just yelling, they're retreating, instead of shooting them. It's so weird. He's got 2 people in front of him, but he's just yelling that. I don't know. But the other team with Mitsuki, Nikhil, Jamil, and Travante arrive at the mothership. And Nikhil says, I care more than you think I do, Mitsuki. And this line right here said, is my Nikhil sacrifice prediction from episode 2 right? That was such an interaction that tells me Nikhil's not making it out of next episode. Just something with it. And I do like the understanding of Nikhil putting up a front, acting like he doesn't care, while Mitsuki's in this closed-minded belief that he doesn't care, that there's not more to him, but there is. We know there is, and it adds for some conflict, and you know, we kind of want them to just get along. But out of nowhere, most shocking part of the episode for sure, my god, Clark gets freaking shotted by Infinitas. Like what like I was like, what the hell Clark was like, I was like, somebody got headshotted and like dropped, and I was like, wait, Clark was standing there. But no way, they probably would have just shot like some other soldier with them. But nope, it's Clark. And I like, with the whole writing the letter to their kids, like I thought he would die, but not like this, like out of nowhere. And I mean, if they succeed and they get the letter back to the kids, we're gonna get some emotional last words from him. Either way, I'm sure we'll read what he last wrote. But Anisha grabs the letter and sets her sights on revenge. Like, finally, we got something for her to do. And it's a little sad, that's for sure. Because Clark was kind of, obviously seemed like a good dad. He was a protector. There's nothing really to dislike about him. And so there's 2 things I wonder here. Is Infinitas going to be right that their loved ones are in this alien Eden or whatever? Or did Invasion actually just do something bold with killing him? Or is he going to be back next episode and Infinitas is right? But sad to think there's no more English teacher, you know, for the students back home. RIP for Clark. Let's get that out in the air. But now that I think about it too, they haven't done a great job of the world building and showing us what is happening across the like world right now. How bad is this like alien situation getting? Because it was like a parallax black and blue like tentacles coming out of the portals. Like what's going on across the rest of the world? What are they actually trying to save? I wish they would show us. I don't exactly know how off the top of my head, I guess, because before they've been doing news broadcasts, that they can't get those out here. But maybe just show the audience like a sequence of what's going on out there to give the audience an idea, and then cut back to our main group. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was the episode, guys. Some shocking moments, some very boring moments. But all in all, not a horrible episode. And we're probably going into the series finale unless they get picked up for a season 4, which would be very crazy. I really hope they just try and conclude the series instead of set up another season. Like, just conclude it, please. And like I said, those questions answered about why the aliens are killing and helping people. What are they doing here? What is that shard that Luke found all the way back in season 1? And Wajo. We all want to know what Wajo is. All right, thank you guys. I was a little bit low voice today, kind of lost some energy in my voice a little bit, but I'm trying. But I'll be on time next week for the episode. It's Thursday. I will remember that. But have a good rest of your day, guys. Goodbye.